Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. It's a fresh start throughout the league here in Week 1 as these two teams have high hopes for the season ahead. It's the Seahawks going up against. With that, let's call in our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, with this opening week matchup.
Okay, Larry, thank you. We are just off I-95 at the home of the Eagles, Lincoln Financial Field on the south side of Philadelphia. Today, it's the opener of the 2017 NFL season between the Seattle Seahawks and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. An early season tilt, and when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, and I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11 quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
He's always been an incredible decision maker on the field. Takes care of the ball really well, puts his team in the right positions, makes sure the play calls are accurate. Also was a minor league baseball player. Didn't hit very well there. I think he made a great career choice picking football.
They'll run for the first time with Lacey. Takes this to the 27, give him 4 yards. The starters for the Seahawks of Seattle on the offensive side, Charles, they could use a big game from Thomas Rawls.
And they really loved what they got out of him last year because an undrafted player is not supposed to give you nearly 6 yards a carry in production, and that's exactly what he did. They need a big game out of him, and they expect it.
On second down, Lacey. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30. Give the tackle that time to Rodney McLeod. And the defense now for the Eagles.
Jordan Hicks played inside and outside linebacker while in college. He'll do the same in the NFL and make a lot of plays in doing so.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. So on 4th down, as seen on TV, here's their resident strongman, John Ryan, on to punt. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field with a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take it ahead to the 28-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now Wentz throwing on second down. Caught right side is Jeffrey. Calling a gain is 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. On first and 10, here's Wentz. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
Offense.
So holding by the offense, and maybe now got to shift up what you want to do on the playbook.
Yeah, definitely. Change what you're doing in the playbook, but boy, the advantage shifts to the guys on defense, doesn't it? Longer yardage situations, they often become bolder.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got to jump here.
Encroachment, defense. Still first down.
So the penalty by the offense, and now they face a 1st and 15. Shotgun now for Wentz. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll make it second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Detroit! Detroit! Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got some space here. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league. And we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. When I looked at him coming out of college, I saw a guy with raw, terrific ability. I couldn't wait to see how it was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning.
Second down following the incompletion. Once again here on 2nd and 10. And complete to Zach Ertz. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. Throwing on first is Wentz. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now Wentz again. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback that has to slide and find open space to throw.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here.
All right, here we go. Back 99 Philly, here we go. Back 99 Philly, here we go. All right, here we go.
On second down, here's Wentz. And this is incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he fires one, but incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And now it's 4th down. So now on is Caleb Sturgis for the Eagle field goal.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop. Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Now, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too. And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up.
And he lost the football. And the grab made by Doug Baldwin. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Now, they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove...
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Shedd. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down, finding time. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. That one goes for 38 yards. And it'll give the Seahawks a first down.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted, out of Stanford.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. On the counter, here's Lacey. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a first down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
They run it again with Lacey. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
But there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Yeah, they've got an extra defensive back out there now on 3rd and 13. Now it's Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So after slogging through a scoreless first quarter, we have action on the scoreboard. A field goal makes it 3-0.
Well, with these two offenses, we weren't going to stay 0-0 forever, were we? I'm not sure that this opens the floodgates, but I doubt that's the last scoring we're going to see.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And last time, 1 play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
Let's go! 3-19!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that any time you hand the ball to a back.
Third down now following the run. From the gun on third down, Wentz. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a first down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on 2nd down and 3. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. On play action, it's Wentz. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
He'll come out in the pistol. To throw is Wentz. Hard throw, incomplete.
Holding, offense.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out. And he is going to need to bomb this one. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. Too long for a field goal, too short to punt. That in-between range, and they'll go for it on 4th down. They'll go for it. It's Wentz. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. It'll be a gain of 11. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks.
I remember in pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain could look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he picks up the first as he's able to take it down to the 7-yard line. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
Love the run right there, and when you analyzed him coming out of college, when you tried to put a grade on him, you saw the flashes while he was in school, but you didn't see the full production. You didn't see the finished product. He's a little bit raw, but you can see why people liked him. Those types of runs make you think there's plenty more there, and we'll see if that continues for him.
A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in? Instead, look at a little more of a scat back type, and he's trying to make it happen.
Yeah, they were in trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. The coverage good, the pressure good, leads to the sack, and it's 3rd and goal now. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning.
And Sturgis able to knock it through, and that will tie us at 3-3. So they get the field goal, but partner, that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally, when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, you end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't, but really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6.
If you run an out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Second and 10 now, Wilson. And he'll be hit from behind and taken down. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. And the O-line will have to do a better job protecting here on third down after that sack. They'll run it with Lacey. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Here's John Ryan now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taken in at the 22. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Eagles take possession. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
10 yards still left on second down.
You're on an island over there. Single receiver. Now let's go. 3-19.
Back to the air on second down. Wentz. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. And now working their way back onto the field, the Eagles defense.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
After the interception, here's Wilson. He'll set up the screen to Lacey. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. They come up in an offset eye. They go play action here on first down. And he's got his man on the comebacker. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 31 yards. And the Seahawks have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something? Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On first down, Wentz. Gonna throw right side here, complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Their dangerous wide receiver with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Eagles are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And a little time left on the clock, so on the other side, they're thinking, gosh, we'd like to get that lead right back.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out. Here I am going ahead and tapping out the first half. There's still time. They've got to make a decision about what they want to do on the kickoff, whether they want to let their return guy touch it.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
It's caught outright by Graham. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And he finds his tight end, Graham. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now Wilson on first down. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. 2nd down now after the pass completion. Wilson will throw again. The connection made. It's Graham. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So as they take it over, we step aside. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. And Folk's kick is good. So that came a little abruptly here. So working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here, let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Great play there off the end. Question, Charles, in a 4-3, you hear about the D tackles a lot. What's the role of the ends?
What they want to do is control the edges of the defense. And you always hear about an offense talking about setting the edge in the running game. Well, the defense wants to do exactly the same thing. And the defensive end, often against an offensive tackle, sometimes a tight end, they can't let themselves get a hook and let a running back get outside, because if they do that, that hurts the integrity of the defense overall.
My man, the encyclopedia. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots, powered forward, and got the first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain. Now they'll run it on the toss. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. 1st level defensive line, 2nd level linebackers, 3rd level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a 1st level run, and it was stopped by a 2nd level player. A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Wentz going to throw, and he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good. But when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Now it's Lockett. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the 3rd. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Yeah, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Shift together here from the D-line. Again, it's Lacy. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
2 plays in a row, the defense won, stacking up the running game. They've got to feel good about themselves, but something has to be in the back of their minds. Are we being set up for something big? They've got to be careful.
3rd down and 12. On 3rd down, Wilson. It's caught, Lockett. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And now the Eagles offense back out onto the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. Wentz to throw on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Holding offense.
So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag. And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. One receiver right, that's Jeffrey.
Set. Green, 39. Green, 39. Detroit. Detroit.
Back near the goal line. Here's Wentz. Hurts over the middle. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play. That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
.44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Returnable for Lockett. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
They begin the drive with Lacey. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Wilson. He hits Jermaine Kearse. And he's brought down. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They come out here in the I. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And Graham's got it over the middle. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
Holding offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. So now a 1st and 20. Following the penalty now, Lacey. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
Fourth quarter with a lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that, +3.
Now Wilson. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And the Eagles will go with an extra DB here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd.
Thinking pass all the way.
To throw is Wilson. And he's going to be taken down. Back across mid-long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this punt sails over the sideline. And the spot, it looks to be right at the 25-yard line. Getting set to torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And frankly, Brandon, we're talking about things I'm not sure we ever thought we'd talk about in the NFL. And a lot of that is the speed at the linebacker position. A lot of these guys in college, they were safeties. They moved them up to outside linebacker to combat the spread offenses, and now we're seeing it in the NFL. Those same guys using their speed to make plays in the backfield, similar to that one.
And the offense looks to pick up the first here on 3rd after that incompletion.
Watch it now, Barney. Here we go now. Boom, landed.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Holding offense.
Here's Donnie Jones now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And that will hit and continue on out of bounds. And out now come the Seahawks. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and give these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
So free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
One receiver right, that's Jeffrey.
All right, here we go. Green, 30.
On first down, Wentz. He targets Jordan Matthews, and it's caught. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it a second down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
So the run moves the chains, and here we go on first down. They isolate Jeffrey to the left side. Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Time running out here on the play clock. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to the 25. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
The best defensive lineman They play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Wentz not going to take the snap here. Instead, he turns and calls a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout.
And the Seahawks add a couple of extra DBs going with the dime look here.
Indeed, 6 on the field.
Watch him now, Barney.
Back to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This for the lead in the final stages. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Now then, it's a big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th. But, Charles, there is still time left for a final drive.
Brandon, you know they would have liked to take the clock down just a little bit further, at least under a minute or so, but this one's not over yet, especially since they just need a field goal.
The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. And now they're in the hurry-up. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Holding offense.
Let's see, the defense might bring some added pressure as the offense is dealing with a 3rd and long. He's back to throw. A dump off to Lacey. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave him with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. In the slot on the right is Graham. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. Here now another look at the rookie Carson Wentz leading his offense back out there. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, my man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean.
Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Second down following the run.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Set. Green 39. Green 39. Hey, here we go.
And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Eagles, a win's a win as they eke out the 2-point victory to take the season opener. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Eagles are winners here as we say